Hello and welcome back. Today we are going to be doing a little bit of a shorter kind of impromptu stream. I wanted to practice a lot of starts, and then I had remembered, or to take a look at a lot of different starts, and then I had remembered for a lot of viewers, we had done a poll, and you guys said you were interested in looking at some of my practice runs, or my attempts to kind of figure out what it is I want to do, and we're probably going to take a look at quite a few nations that I think are really difficult starts, and try and get a decent start off with them. We're going to start with the one we always start with, which is the Indian territory. We're going to save at the start just in case we like high roll something and we can maybe make a run out of it. I don't think we can, but we're just going to, take a look through some of the things and maybe talk through some of the ideas as well. I think that the Indian territory, you just basically have to uber high roll, getting a France that's going to want to intervene against the U.S. and then have the U.S. back down. And also Texas has to win this fight, and so this is one we're probably not going to spend very long on, but we'll just take a quick look at it. Hello Block Chicken, how's it going? Hey Palea, oh man, I haven't seen you in the chat in a while, how's it going? We are going to be playing a lot of different countries, I think, or at least taking a look at several different countries. So we'll put promote road maintenance. Generally on these one province starts, these types of things are really strong. We're not going to look to uber min-max this, mainly just kind of, get a little bit started. I don't even think this is enough for us to run one of these, and I know you have to infrastructure juggle when you're playing this, and queue juggle because we only have like 4 infrastructure. I wonder what the best building is, actually. So we're inside the US market, and what would be the actual... So, like, the best building, like, from... like a normal theoretical sense would be like a logging camp or a couple logging camps, but we're going to run out of infra very, very quickly, right? And then we're going to just juggle buildings. So actually we would probably just want whatever building is most infrastructure efficient, which isn't actually something I've considered very much. I actually don't really know which building is going to be the most infrastructure efficient. Isn't that like kind of disgusting? On a per infrastructure basis, it's probably logging camps, just because... I think these are the infrastructure. Yeah, 1 infrastructure per level. The infrastructure corresponds with every 200 construction cost, if I recall correctly. Although this isn't something I've like verified in forever. So we're gonna kind of we're probably supposed to go urban planning first. Just so used to clicking stock exchange. Really, really rough start on these guys, although we're probably not really going to be playing very much. We're just kind of trying to play a little bit tight, but for the Indian territory, we're probably going to spend about 5 minutes, because we're going to roll our fight with the USA, and then we're going to lose it, and then we're going to promptly start a new game. So let's see how France feels towards us. This is probably the most key thing. They're cautious, and their attitudes here: expand resources, promote liberal reforms. I'm not really sure which one of these attitudes make them most likely to intervene. This is probably something, if we were trying to learn a little bit more, this is probably something we could try and figure out. I think you also need Texas to win, because you have to expand into Texas. But they're protective and poor relations. And so, if we declare independence, what if the play is just increasing autonomy? So they're just not going to accept. I mean, I think it's independence. And here we have who can join, and it has to be France, right? And so France has to want to be swayed to our side, but they're undecided. I just think this, like, never works. And you just have to or it doesn't, it's not that it never works, it's just really, really infrequently works. And this is probably not the best patch to do it. We'll give it a couple weeks to see if this changes. It's also a real shame we can't join in any of France's wars. It's not like a normal type of thing where if you wanted to buddy up with France, you would declare an interest in North Africa and then join on the side of one of their wars, just like you could do with Russia with Circassia. You can't do it here. We're just going to declare and, like, get the bad news and then call it a run, I think, for these guys, and then take a look at another one. Paraguay, Uruguay, by any chance? We were supposed to do it. It won the poll. I forgot to include it in the mix. We see, so already the run would be a because Mexico is occupied Texas. But here, can we sway? No. How close is an obligation? It's not even remotely close. They don't care about that at all. And I wish it was a little bit more transparent how close we are to swaying them, but it doesn't look like France will help us, so we will just promptly have to pay war reparations to the USA. So we're just going to exit and take a look at some other stuff. Good evening, Matt. How's it going? We're doing a little bit of practice starts. Ikicho Wen. Is that the divergences? What is it? Peru one? What about something like a release Ukraine start? We are probably actually going to do that again for February 24th, I think, for a charity stream. We did that last year, raising money for people in Ukraine on the anniversary of the invasion, and I think we're probably going to do it again, and I think we're probably just going to conquer all of Russia again, which is what we did last year, which took like 16 hours. It was a little bit rough. But here we're going to take a look at a little bit of a different one. Central America run. Central America's spicy. We could take a look at a Central America start. Let's actually do that. I haven't... Or we'll just swap countries. My understanding is it's really hard. And I don't know the start specifically. But we have to keep the turmoil down. I don't really know strategies behind keeping the turmoil down. Let's kind of start off with like the things we do know. I don't think we can really use decrees to keep the turmoil down. I mean, it's minus penalties. Increase mortality. I mean, if you crack enough heads, the people die, and then there's not tumultuous, right? And so maybe this is the way to go. But yeah. Well, what's the turmoil right now? It's like kind of rough, and we're gonna get a bunch of negative events. I remember this was really easy to do if you could spike corn laws, but I don't think we could spike corn laws, can we? How many sell orders do we have? Can we create enough sell orders to hit this? Probably not. Let's take a look. No, there's no way. Grim. Is there another way for us to slingshot it? We could import it and then export it. We could also just depeasant quite a bit and maybe try and get it. But I remember it being like if you hit corn laws it was super easy, and if you didn't hit corn laws it was hard. But I don't remember why. We don't have this run prepped at all, which is like much the point. But we're just kind of taking a look. I know it's like I guess we just kind of set up like normal. I don't think we have a really good mappy state, or I'm not aware of one. I guess wood and iron is okay. So we'll kind of set up there a little bit with at least road maintenance. Can we support another? Okay, we can support another one. I think we'll go with a consumption tax on service. This barely pays for anything, so we're gonna not do that. And then instead, what do the pops look like here? God, this is like actually a incredibly rough start. Like if you're just taking a look at pops. What's gonna be, I guess, resource industry probably. And then we'll float the rest. We have census. We start off with decent voting laws, which is actually gonna make everything really quick to change. And I suppose local police force, or dedicated police force rather, might be okay here. I imagine our institutions are kind of cheap. Yeah, only 16, so this seems like a good one. And we're floating so that we can generate authority faster. And it looks like we can afford 1 to 2 construction sectors. Why don't we build one, but put it on iron frame immediately, and then we'll import iron immediately and see what we can do. We don't have atmospheric engine, but just the one we'll probably do. So we'll probably do stock exchange into the slingshot method, and then kind of get started with that, and just take a quick look at it. Corn laws for the loyalists. Is that what the idea was for Central America? That makes sense. Happy to make it. Glad you made it. This is definitely a bit more of an impromptu thing. Normally I just don't practice on stream, but I remembered that we had pulled it before and people were okay with it. It involves me, understandably, like playing very poorly. Or like not knowing exactly what the plan is here. Okay, so we have an iron frame. We know picks and shovels is just absolutely terrible and we just won't use it. But we'll do something like this, and then I think we'll build the tools ourselves. And then we will, of course, have a shortage. Where's the iron? Bruh, didn't we finish the construction sector? How we not got any iron demand? Yeah, wait, we have iron supply? Okay, we have iron supply somewhere. Where do we have iron supply? What? Wait. Okay, okay, now it thinks. Got it. So we'll import it from Dios Mio, the Mexican market. And then the tools, we're going to want to make the tools ourselves eventually, but we'll just import it from someone else for now. I guess maybe we want to run, yeah, we probably do want to run more trade routes with the UK and maybe join their market. You had an okay playthrough where you just tanked the journal entry and conquered everything was not ideal. Yeah, I don't think that this is. I don't think this is the preferred methodology. I mean, maybe we're supposed to build one building in each of these places to give employment to help drive stuff down. I suppose we could start with this, right? And we'll just run a deficit for a hot minute. Because I know our turmoil will also decrease if we create buildings. Wood is just super good. Maybe we just do that everywhere. We just make a bunch of wood in the queue. I mean, this probably... In terms of having a really oversimplified strategy, I think I like this. And then we'll come in here. We'll actually also fix all of our PMs the best we can. Citrus orchard, yeah, probably doesn't make money right now. It do be like that most times, but now... Oh, I forgot we have an adjacency. That's super nice for them. Central Barca's laws aren't so bad, I agree. I would just use core laws in earlier patches. If you lower taxes, it's a lot easier. Guatemala has the most insane mappy state. Reform government. Guatemala is certainly the best. Okay, so we just lose this. I assume we do, they will regret this betrayal, and then we have to go take them back, right? Return state, sure. So are we, is this mean it's scuffed? Are we not supposed to even get this first one? Really not sure how we could have avoided that. Barely any time had passed. Ugh. Oh, I forget we have the shit armed forces, don't we? Authority and research spread. Jesus. Terrible. The Cadillos. Failed already? I guess. Is that what happened? God. Yeah. Will fail if owns less than 3 Central American states. Well, we're just gonna recoup the state, but is this, if this is the way you do it, this seems less interesting. But yeah, I guess we've failed already. We're also losing a lot of money. Running the taxes these low. So I'm not sure we want to do that. Kind of do want to get dedicated police force though. We can stand these guys down. It always falls apart. Yeah, I mean, I guess. I'm not sure if we could run a tax, but the tax is only going to give us like 400 money, and we could instead just like pass laws really fast. I think I prefer passing. Oh, we forgot to reform the government. Yeah, this is probably a big chunk of why we fail over here, right? Okay. So pretty loose actually, on my part. I apologize. Didn't reform the government. If we do something like this, Let's just do this for now. But yeah, so this should be better at generating the loyalists, right? And getting rid of the radicals. But we definitely want to take a look at other starts. So we kind of just want to see... So we succeeded in there. And maybe they're the only ones that succeed. I mean, your turmoil is kind of high. But so the question is... Okay, if we give you a logging camp and we have high legitimacy... How are we gonna do? How well are we gonna do? I really don't know the answer to this question. This will maybe auto queue one, but like when I was doing research for the equilibrium video, I initially did an equilibrium of just wood, tools, and iron, and I found the equilibrium price of iron when you're on I love that event. When you're on picks and shovels, like before you have atmospheric engine, the equilibrium value for iron is actually over 75 plus 75%. And so from that, we've generated the idea that you should just import iron if you don't have atmospheric engine. Looks like, how much float is that? We have too much. We could see what one tax looks like, but not going to tax liquor because we're not trying to make the people mad. I guess we do that, but that's like just a small dent in the thing. I wish there was a graph that showed turmoil over time. I guess we're going to take a look at it and watch it. It's going up, 33.3. Oh no, it's going down. And once it's going up. Once we give them work, I know it kind of helps to decrease, so... I think we can just tolerate that. But dedicated police will also help, at least mitigating these effects. It won't help us to lower the turmoil. I mean, violent suppression would help us to lower the turmoil, but just because we're killing people. Yeah, 30 legitimacy. I've seen enough, I'm out, basically. Wonder what's gonna happen with Argentina. IRL. I don't know that much about that guy, the hyper-libertarian guy. Although I'm a libertarian, maybe I shouldn't talk smack, but I'm not that kind of libertarian. From what I can understand. Tooling Workshop's going to be nice, I think. Here. We, of course, are, like, not really playing this super optimized. We're just kind of wanting to see what this is all about. Age of Cadillos. Depleting this means we will... destroy the Cadillos. Would this change our... This doesn't change our IG, does it? If we could get the normal IG that has offense and defense, that would be fantastic. I think this just gives them a ton of clout, right? It's not going to be hyper relevant, because we're not doing a full run of this, but we just kind of wanted to play around with this and see if we can... I'm just curious if... Well, it looks like it's coming down now, so I guess low taxes, and you maybe kind of get it through. I mean, we're about to go bankrupt, though. And we're pretty small. We actually, there's no way we actually want to be floating this much. So why don't we just swap back to wooden frame? We're on a positive balance. But yeah, we're not a major power, so as a minor power, you actually don't want to run a deficit. So that's a leak in kind of what we're doing here. But, yeah. Generalist read my reform government and didn't even look at the screen. The truth hurts, doesn't it? I do want to get through. I do want to. Yeah, okay. Maybe we've seen enough. I mean, I think that. But now no one else has turmoil except for these guys. I mean, it doesn't seem too bad, a start. I mean, if you're not using your infamy decay, you're losing it, so if you just, like, take this period to, like, play like this, like, maybe this is... You just, like, are getting some breaking, but you could probably do it with 0 breaking. Oh, we get Honduras as seeds. They'll regret their betrayal. Yeah, this is now come a little worse. What happened to their turmoil? Just spiked back up? I mean, okay, I guess. I mean, maybe you're supposed to violently suppress. We don't have any form of, we're just gonna recruit a guy. We don't have any form of, couriers, probably the way to go. Wait, why do we not have a front with Honduras? What the hell? Oh, did we just click the, oh, we're not at war with them. That makes sense, that tracks. In my head, we were at war with them. We're definitely not. Oh, hey, Pat, what's up? Wasn't expecting to see you in here. How's it going? So I had this interesting thought that I was gonna text you about, which is like the most wild thing that could happen for the election for 2024. Although I guess I don't necessarily want to like super blast politics in the chat. Oh, but we're just like I think we failed the journal entry here, so that looks rough. We're gonna start a new one. This isn't what we wanted to practice specifically anyways. We wanted to take a look at some other stuff. But the wild thing I was thinking is like, bro, what if like Biden drops Kamala as a running mate and picks up Obama? Like, that would be such a wild shakeup. Yeah. Do a Texas start? Oh, we could look at Texas too. But I wanted to take a look at... Oh, I don't know if this start's possible, so I kind of just wanted to take a look at it a little bit here. Not Qing, of course. Qing is definitely possible. The Uyghurstan start. So we could release them as a subject and then play from within the Chinese market. So this is idea one, but we would be a puppet, and so we would have to reduce autonomy. I don't really think we like this too much. And also, Russia has claims on some of our territory once we release, so this is a little bit rough. But let's do this. So we have Uyghurstan here. I've practiced this a lot before, but not recently, and not since Mappy. We do have this, which is kind of nice for the mining, but it doesn't have access to wood. We basically have like no wood. We don't have very many pops. I think if we wait a tick, we will see how many pops we have. Here's the capital with 800k. And so overall, about 1.5 million pops. And the idea was maybe we do a conquer all of China as Uyghurstan. We do get sericulture, which is an interesting type of thing, and we have Chinese tech. I don't think we have the Chinese IGs, which is unfortunate because the Chinese IGs are really good. And so we get the Sunni Ulema though, of course, which makes sense. So what we would need to do is we probably go stock exchange first, especially because we have the really weird mappy where we don't have a single place with both iron and logging, because our iron is like separate from the logging, but we do have every resource, which is like, I don't think there's any other country in the game that starts like this. Okay, let's just kind of, this won't necessarily be optimal, but let's just like kind of set down road maintenance in a couple spots. And also get rid of the poor laws. They can starve. And then I guess we build the, I don't know where we build the construction sector. I guess we'll build the one here and then one here and then see from there. Kind of. And then we almost certainly have to improve relations. We can't join Great Qing's Customs Union. I think we do want to join Russia's. And so we'll play like this. And then we have ideas of maybe expanding into Cochin, but I wanted to see how aggressive Russia is towards us in terms of attitudes. And if we can get the attitude high and join their customs union, kind of as our like main goal. And you know, and I know they want, oh, we actually don't have the peace. We don't have Tomsk. Tomsk is what they want. Do they want Ili though? I don't know. We need a license to Ili. So Texas is the hardest start, I think. I don't think Texas is the hardest start. I think this might be the hardest start. Because Russia wants to conquer you and you don't have coast. Wouldn't happen, but it's an interesting thought. Yeah, I 100% agree. I don't think it's going to happen. I was just thinking it would be absolutely wild. You have 800 hours in the game now? Set your edicts? No, we want to pass our law faster. We want to pass the law faster. If we set a bunch of edicts, we won't have the plus 25%. I guess we could set a little bit of stuff. Edicts also won't be spectacularly useful right now. I guess promote social mobility might be a little bit useful, so we'll do that. But we actually want to float the authority up high to give the minus enactment chance, especially really, really early on before our economy is very big. Because passing laws will be... We won't get very much money, but from like doing a bunch of consumption taxes, but we will get much faster law passes, and so that's why I think we want to play it like that. God, it's such a weird thing where we also don't have coal and iron together. Like, if you could have all 5 resources in 2 states and set it up like the exact opposite of how you'd want it, you'd set it up like this. Where you have wood and coal together and then all the other mining resources. I guess maybe you would put sulfur in with the coal. Yeah, you'd probably put sulfur with the coal. But it's very close, very nearly. Okay, so what we actually almost certainly... Here, let's load. What we almost certainly want to do is actually join Russia on that play. Just kind of, like, not paying super close attention. You got the advice from you. If you don't use it, you're losing it, unless you're passing a law. Specifically, it's, like, just the early game where this is, like, a really common play pattern. But in principle, I do agree with what I told you. So we're just going to support. And now, we are hoping that they don't want to conquer us. If we could get inside their customs union, we would consider that like a win. Because what the overall strategy would be to not fight Qing initially, but instead snake our way through Kak into Afghanistan, Kalat, and then get to the coast. And then once you're on the coast, it's just kind of like a wash. You just like you go for South Africa like every other country, and so it's a thing. You're right, give it a little bit more authority, though. Yeah. Oh, man, we just get the super good luck on the practice run. This is the best one to roll. Jesus. Almost makes me want to make this a run. Could we do that? It's probably against the rules. We wanted to also do Papal States in Ethiopia, so... For the taking a look at things. But this doesn't look too bad. We know that Russia's very likely to declare here, and we see that they're now genial. And so, the question is there no trade routes between our markets? So, what can we... We could import grain from them. So let's actually do that. Our tax, we probably actually... Here, let's run low taxes, actually. Because if we're filling up the bar, that's a no-no. That's not allowed. Oh, it's so nice being right next to both of these markets. Do we have any buildings? I think we just have nothing, yeah. Nothing at game start here. Oop, and we also are idling. I'm gonna do this. I guess maybe I should... The Mappy's like pretty bad, but it's not like catastrophic. What's our infra look like? It's probably not very good. 13, 25, 27. I mean, we got some. Here's the problem: is they switch back to cautious. Do you like? I wonder how much they like this province in terms of like trying to conquer it. Now, Cochin has 20 battalions. It's gonna be more than our 0. Just kind of scoping out the neighbors while we're... I mean, they have smaller pop. I think in theory we could build up bigger than them in relatively short order. Use all of your Diplo too. Sorry, just trying to help. Yeah, we're just, you're like, you're not wrong. It's not that you're wrong, it's that we're kind of just trying to check things and play quickly more than, like, actually... do an efficient start, and like actually the most important thing is like, can we get Russia to have a positive attitude towards us? And if the answer is no, it's like actually like the run's like, this is like the entire run hangs on our ability to get Russia to like us. But I think that the fact that I think they want Tomsk because Tomsk is a split state, right? But I don't think we have a split state here, so I think that the strategy actually of going through Kokand and Afghanistan and Kalat, I think this is really doable. I have to explore this a little bit more. I mean, this is kind of what we're doing here, is we're trying to explore it a little bit. But I did want to do the Uyghurstan run in June, because everyone remembers that nothing happened in June of 1989, of course. Blow all the rock out the practice runs, basically. Yeah, it do be like that. I think we also just would want to kind of on the short term import tools from Russia, but not for very long. Because we don't have a lot of pop. We'll run out of pop pretty quick. Especially going through Kokand and Afghanistan. So we see here, here's another chance. So we've been improving relations with them, and so if we can get up to plus 20 while still being at war here, maybe, like if this war takes too long for them, maybe we can get this up to plus 20. And let's see, trade agreement, they're kind of close. And if the attitude was up, we would probably be able to get this. I'm not sure. I think for this one, we're going to swap it on to iron frame. And then we're going to look to import the iron. But yeah, definitely not playing super optimally, just kind of checking things more than anything else right now. You watch more of my stuff than anyone else's, especially since you release multiple times a day. Usually it's one a day, although this is kind of the release for today. We do have it took me a long time to, like, kind of figure out what I wanted to say in the, like, most recent tutorial. Okay, so that's, like, faster than we would have liked, so we don't get to the plus 20 relations. And now they're back to cautious, so this is unfortunate. And also unfortunate is they like to go after Kokand fairly frequently. And if they go after Kokand, right, then we have a bit of a problem, right? So maybe we're actually just supposed to take this individual state in Tajikistan. But if they go after Kokand, then we don't have a way to get to the coast except through the Sikh Empire, which they are much harder to push through. That's much more difficult a thing. Half infantry, half cavalry run. We would just do 100% cavalry until we have line infantry. Because if you're on irregulars, 100% cavalry is actually better. Maybe they'll switch off of cautious when we pip the relations up to 20. So now we're cordial, right? And so are they still going to be cautious? It's kind of a big question here. Having really big trouble employing up this qualifications issue. So maybe the second thing we go for will actually be empiricism. Definitely, like, all of our trade is severely nuked by Mappy, so we definitely want the stock exchange first, and then we'll probably go ammo engine, and then use the slingshot method, something like this. We definitely want to be passing a law. So, we have a jingoist. Still need to test more about keeping peasant levies, but we'll just do this for now. Get some faster laws. Do I watch other victory YouTubers or Paradox in general? I do not watch a lot, to be honest. I watch, like, a slight bit. I sometimes skim through other creators' videos. If someone, like, links me something and they say that this somehow relates to something I said or something like this, that's more the context, but I don't do it very often. I kind of... I watch content for other games. Like, to be honest, like, I think about Victoria 3 a lot, and I play Victoria 3 a lot, and there's, at a certain point, there's, like, a saturation, right? And so usually if I'm going to be doing something Victoria 3 related, I'd rather be recording my own thing. Although, I am reading about industrialization. Where's that book? Where did we put it? Where's Harvey Tent? There it is. So I am reading this now, which is about the UK and the process of industrialization. The name of the book is Industry and Empire, which I thought was going to be a bit more of a casual read, but then the book opens up with like, so you're probably taking an economics course in college, and I'm like, oh, okay. It's going to be a little bit more technical than I had anticipated, but that's okay. We'll take that. We take those. See, so yeah, we're having employment problems. I mean, this is the capital. We could add a uni here. It's probably not good, but it's gonna be no good because this isn't where we really need the uni. Okay, where are we gonna be building the most buildings? Probably the place that has the 24 iron mine, huh? Alright, let's build a uni there. But this guy's staying on cautious. And the crux of the question is, can we get through Hawkins? I don't know the answer to this question, to be honest. What is our institution cost? It's 16 a level, so we could go for police. Dedicated police. I mean, this is something useful we can pass right now. We could get the Ulema or the armed forces in. We have we have a royalist and another boyo. Let's just check what all they support. We don't want to go charity hospitals. We don't really want to go for one of the other schools. They are moralist. I don't really like that stuff. So they're not going to be very useful. The armed forces, I'm trying to think if there's anything we really pass off the back of the armed forces early on that we like, and I don't think so. We can see what this looks like. It's not very legitimate, but I mean, we could just start immediately passing some things like landed voting. Or freedom of conscience. Freedom of conscience is maybe an okay one. Price of grain. Oh, it's kind of expensive. Bruh, can we get a market liberal here? Alright, pump the brakes. Let's check it. Plus 41. Oh, okay. We're gonna get a market liberal. We're gonna do the things. By the way, how do you deal with a big number of radicals on conquered states? Generally, it's kind of just wait, and if you absolutely need to build there, you use, what is it, violent suppression. And then if you're at a phase of the game where you just your construction's not that valuable, you can just YOLO build there anyways. It's not the worst. Lowest tax and no discrimination. Well, they're not gonna be subject to any of your institutions. So incorporation is also a method that you can use to help out things. So we have the corn laws. We're just kind of waiting on our events to properly tick. Being able to do corn laws is a pretty significant advantage. It means we're gonna get laissez-faire in just a sec here. But if you give people jobs, it'll raise their SOL. We get modern conservative and inspiration. Perfect. Perfection. Let's grant leadership. And then say smell you later to the abolitionists. And why can't we go? Oh, because we have serfdom. So we have a bit of a choice between homesteading and tenant farmers, I guess. I mean, I don't think we need to think this through too much, because this is just kind of a bit of a practice run. The consistency is key. I watch a ton of these Paradox content creators. You're growing well because you're consistent and you break things down well. Appreciate all the tutorials and whatnot. You're very welcome. Yeah, I'm definitely trying to be consistent. I'm also mildly burnt out on Vicky, because I was going really hard during the entire 1.5 beta and on release, and I also find the bug really annoying. The construction queue bug, or it makes it so that a lot of the advice I give is it's not going to be that advice anymore. So what am I supposed to do even? I don't know. These places cannot employ up at all. Just having severe qualification problems. Can we import the paper? We're just going to run every trade route through Russia. because more than anything, we would like to get into Russia's market. If we get into Russia's market, then we can 100% everything else from here. I mean, it would take a long time to conquer Great Qing, but it's definitely an accomplishable thing. But if we can't get into Russia's market, then it's a lot more complicated. So let's go laissez-faire. Yeah, and the buildings that we built aren't even employing up, so that's like... I guess you're kind of employing up. We'll put you on auto-expand. It's already on auto-expand. I guess we could build a tooling workshop here. We're gonna want one there eventually, I suppose. Maybe. There's just very little. Yeah, okay. We actually probably should have built it here in the first place. But just a little bit of local supply. Dude, I think about this game as I'm falling asleep. Sometimes my brain mixes, etc. Yeah, I mean, if you play like all day, or if I play, I definitely like think about it when I'm falling asleep. Love to hear more about the book sometime. Yeah, we definitely have to talk about it. That's part of the reason I got it. It's because we were talking, and then like I was talking about how I really should just be reading more Victorian era history books. Like, it just makes sense. Familiar with the author as a Marxist historian? Really? Interesting. Eric Hobsbawm? I mean, with my, like, reading of Marxism, the name doesn't sound familiar, although I'm a bit far removed from having read a lot of Marxist thought as part of my philosophy degree. Oop. We forgot to get rid of the corn laws, everyone. So we'll switch to this. We're going to switch to export prioritization on that. We're going to import from both these guys on the grain. We're going to switch to import prioritization on the iron as well. Because the iron is really, like, not profitable at all. Even... it's just no good. End of the corn laws, though. Let's get rid of those. I'm going to read about the corn laws in that book. Hi, is this with mods? No, it is not. Might have to get lucky with an exile. They need to add new content for sure. It feels like it needs more in the economy because this game is based around that. I actually want them to just fix diplomacy more than anything, and the diplomatic plays just not being so psychotic, I think. We just want to make sure we're above 90% here, but we're going to raise the taxes back up. And so I suppose if we were min-maxing, we'd have gone back for Cochin by now, but like the biggest thing is like, well, actually maybe not even. Let's actually make a little bit of a military and see how rough it is. So we're going to establish the military here, and then we're going to make it 100% cuirassiers. Cannot build barracks. Why, my friend? Because we don't have access to small arms? Alright. That's fair enough. So if we import small arms, then we should be able to build the barracks, yes? Yeah. We'll do something like that. 5 barracks. I don't think it's going to be enough to deal with Cochin. But Cochin will just have a bunch of irregulars, which even with the full malice, we should be able to beat with our cuirassiers. Yeah, too many my ass. We'll take the full penalty, my friend. This will just do 10 and see kind of what we can do here. Hey, Technocrat, how's it going? Salute to you, too. The game is great because it feels like a slight nudge makes a huge difference over time. This is like the biggest thing, but it's also why the game's like, for new players, it's like, you don't feel like you have a sense of agency as a new player playing this game, because it's, everything you do it has like long-term effects, but like it's just subtle. Too bad we don't have an interest over there. Oh, we could have added interest in the Caucasus? What? That changes everything. If we could have an interest in the Caucasus, we could definitely, like, elongate the Ironwork Cooperative. Join Customs Union. They say yes. Okay, so this run is definitely viable. And this is kind of like what we're trying to determine here is it viable? We can definitely expand into Cochin. I guess we could do the war? This probably won't take too long, so we'll just take a look at if with 10 cuirassiers we can push into Cochin, which I kind of think we can. And we're probably just going to annex everything of them. We could literally just take this state, but I think we just want to take everything. Or we could take and subjugate, I suppose. The point is we need to get a border with Afghanistan to go into Afghanistan as well. Picks and shovels in my nightmares? Yeah. Picks and shovels PM is just real bad. That should help with the qualifications a little bit. So now we're on Atmo engine. The game plan is to research up to 10k and then go and research lathe. We could of course conscript up too. And we should actually have decent literacy. Yeah, because we're using the decrees, right? Let's just use decree it up everywhere. And then we want to pass laws, herpaderpal. Definitely want to get that through while we can. I mean, it's very smooth how quickly we can pass laws because we're so small. Small boy hour. And we're doing this float, and so we wouldn't be doing the float later. GDP's come up a decent chunk. Great Britain giving away half of Canada to assist you with a minor war in India is definitely broken. But are you familiar with the yo-yo method, where if you join one side of the play and then flip to the other, you can get even more absurd stuff? Definitely a big one. Part of diplomacy definitely needs to be weighted differently. Yeah, I agree. Diplomacy as a whole is just this big giant mess. Okay, so we're not recruiting up very fast here. Can we just do something different? I think we need to go... Let's recruit one of these guys for offense and one of these defensive strategists for defense. What is this? Take on debt. Sure, brother. You could take it. I'm pretty sure that would just decay out. And also, we're only going to be playing for a few more minutes, so... We're playing this Uyghurstan for a few more minutes. But this seems way more smooth than I thought it was going to be. I thought Russia was going to hate our guts, but we have a protective Russia. I guess maybe they don't super want to take Ili anymore. I don't know what that's about. Popular playwright? 2 popular playwrights? Come on. Can we save the luck for later? You're going on a deficit on unrecognized. Keep an eye on it. Yeah, you are correct. But also this isn't going to be the run, so it's maybe less important. You are 100% correct. That's a no-no. But here was the idea here, is that with our interest in the Caucasus, we would be able to continue to join plays with Russia in order to like generate a positive attitude so that we could join their market. But like with Russia's backing, like our ability to go into Central Asia, we could actually even, well, actually let's try this. And then see if they would actually help us with Cochin on the same token. And then, okay, so we definitely want to take Tajikistan. We could actually just take that and then tributary them or something. It's a little bit less infamy. No, it just has to be bad. We just have to go for it all. And then, or we have to like leave them around. Which, kind of don't like that. It's a little bit worse on the borders. I mean, I suppose we're going to have the same problem with Afghanistan. Ooh, we have a mappy state, though, in eastern Afghanistan. I don't think we win this war, though. I think this war is going to be a little bit pushed, but let's see what we can do. Oh, that pushed us over the edge where Russia would no longer be swayable? Interesting. Well, I guess we could just take the one little piece. And then go for the one piece. We can get way more efficient expansions off once we have coastal access, then like taking Afghanistan and stuff. So, I guess we maybe let's just try taking only Tajikistan, and then we'll probably restart and do a different country after this. So we'll raise the conscripts. We'll put on the front. We have our boys set up as exactly as we want them, and we can sway Russia. Now, what can we get? Transfer states. Okay, so they do kind of want these states in the abstract. Sway with become subject, become a protectorate. I don't think we want to do that, but it wouldn't be the end of the world. It would actually be relatively okay. But we could just offer an obligation. But the fact that they're willing to, like, kind of do that type of thing, and then we just get a ton of troops. This war, yeah, if they devote anything over to our war, we win it. So, since they are actually moving troops over, we'll call this a viable sort of start or run, and we will take a look at our next country. You haven't explored the yo-yo method, but you've heard of the memes. Yeah, it's definitely nice. Egypt borders. Egypt took a little bite out of Turkey. It happens sometimes. I missed it though, but it's always a good one. So, I think that we wanted to take a look at Ethiopia. I forget which one we're supposed to do. Solomon. But I think that... So I think the Harar is the best one because it has the double culture, and so you accept everyone, and so actually not forming Ethiopia is optimal. But I think Shewa gets... or actually I think whoever you play gets the general, right? Tudos. I don't think Tudos starts out anywhere. I think you get to roll him, which is part of why we're playing it. So why don't we take a look at Harar? This is the place with the worst mapping in the game, by the way. We're going to take a look at our general entries and stuff. Okay, so we have the Age of Princes, which we don't see what pops it. Fair enough. Oh, I forgot. F's to pay respect. I actually don't know what's the best thing to start with them. Tech-wise, because their tech is so bad. Like, steelworking unlocks sawmills, but we don't even have any lumber we can utilize anyway. It's probably going to be... Oh my god. We need international trade to go into stock exchange. That do be a thing. But, like, at this juncture, I don't know. It might make sense for it to go academia first. Jesus, this is so rough. My sample size playing these types of starts is really low. And so, like, the things we're thinking about through here is steelworking has access to sawmills as well as, your ability to make wrought iron tools. But we don't really have much wood, so we can't really utilize that well anywhere near, like, the start. But I do think we can build, like, a university. The other idea is going international trade into stock exchange or urban planning, because urban planning does unlock the iron frame construction in market squares, as well as, all this. God, it's such a rough start. Well, no matter what, we will get wealth education from that, and so maybe we do that into stock exchange, something like this. I guess I just don't know how hard the employment is going to be. One thing about 1.5 is it depressed SOL, and it actually makes employing on, like, these types of starts, like, way harder than it was previously. And my sample size for this is, like, actually really small, so my confidence in this being the correct choice is actually incredibly low. Actually, let's start urban planning. We'll also see what that spreads to us, but I think we will get the Tudos event. But until then, let's put down... Oh, we don't even have road maintenance. Okay, so the fact that we get road maintenance from going urban planning also definitely kind of encourages that. I think we have wood here, but not the other stuff. But it's only 5 wood. Jesus. It's such a bad start. Alright, we're going to encourage resource industry, I guess. Grim. I'll just do this into this. But Tudos, right? We do get Age of Princes once this stuff fires. Okay, so we get Age of Princes. So your country is Harar. Okay, so We're gonna roll Mr. Tudos himself, right? Your country is Harar. It is Harar. So are you thinking this next week this triggers? No? Yes? No? Where's Mr. Tudos? It has been a while. Where's the gentleman? I'd like to wait for Mr. Tudos. Our country is Harar, my friend. Finally caught a live stream. Hey, Jugshot, how's it going? Conquest is important. Conquest is really important, but we're waiting for Mr. Tudos. Our country is Harar. This is the requirement. Harari market. Is that a Ferrari? No, it's a Harari. West quickly. Britain doesn't really mess with your coast for a while, although it cut off your access. You play this region pretty often. Well, I was thinking we were going to go for Asa, because they have iron. But I was also thinking maybe we subjugate. Oh, we have a play for like way less infamy, and we can't subjugate. Okay. Also, getting to the coast is like generally important because it allows us to put in interests. Is there another reason why you don't want to go east to and hit coast? Isn't it Shewa? You have to do Shewa to get Tudos? Can you think of a nation that is chronically short on pops? Yes. Where it would be smart to focus on pop efficient construction in your related video. Yeah, if you like start Krakow, you probably actually don't want to do like too much messing about with the wood. There's not a lot of wood to mess about with though. But you would want to be more manufacturer heavy. It's really nice that you have good mappy though, so you can go on the coal and the iron, but it would maybe be reasonable to import wood and then focus on tools and steel and like export these. But you have to start as Shewa to get Mr. Tudos. I mean, like the Age of Princes, this says if our country is Harar. We're gonna try and just do a play on Asa here, I think. Does someone might know this better than me, or actually, I'm entirely confident someone knows this better than me, which is why we're taking a look at it. Don't subjugate. We can't even subjugate if you do. When you open up your economy and become important, they will come to mess with you. If you hit the coast, you're a target. This makes sense. Okay, so this is a fair enough reason to not go for Asa. We already started it though, but we don't mind our market getting opened. As far as I am concerned. Armed forces are mad because of reasons. We can't do dedicated police force yet. Damn, we really do start with terrible laws. Okay, so going for Osa is maybe a mistake here, but we just greed it out because this is like the only place with iron, which is so lame. Just wood and no iron. And then the one place with iron doesn't have any wood. It really is super grim. But I don't know why Age of Princes hasn't popped for us. Do we have to play Shewa? There's so much balance across all the systems of the game. Master Butter Gamer. Master Butter. I love the video, it's super informative. You're very welcome. Yeah, I think the game, like, the better you understand the game, the more fun the game is. They want to make a coup. Fair enough. I think you could still just pull them out of government and it kills the coup, no? But we do not see this Age of Princes firing. So that's really not what we want. Why don't we take a quick save and just swap to Shewa and see if it fires then. You're right about the iron issue, yeah. Truth hurts. The English can't win a war if they can't get to you. This is true. So we have Age of Princes, and this triggers if our country is Shewa, which it is. Oh, do we have to actually unify everything and then we get the boy? Is this how it works? I mean, our country definitely is what we say it is. But it's been a while since I've done this. I guess we'll just keep doing stuff. It's like not difficult to unify everything here, but then like the follow-up is maybe difficult. Oh, did we make a... Do we really not have access there? Bro. We don't have access there. Is that visually, like, obvious at all? No, it's not. Bro. You build everything with wood for ages in these regions. I think we might try importing when we do the run, to be honest. Because the iron frame buildings is considerably better. Alright, so I guess we could probably go after Shewa. We want interactions. Oh, this is interesting. Let's go pro army to make the guy happy. Now, why can't we... Am I just blind? Oh, we're playing Shewa. We're playing Shewa. Got it, we gotta load Harar. I was so confused. I was thinking, I thought we loaded the right save, but we didn't. Been trying to work on a complete equilibrium sheet today, and it's very hard. Yeah, well, it also changes as soon as you change 1 PM. So... Oh, Shewa has way more troops. Okay. That would also explain why we could not put on the coast, because we were playing Shewa. Because we were doing a little bit of checking. Alright, let's go for these guys now, I suppose. And if someone wants to open our market, I guess they're gonna get us. We are isolationists, so we can't just import the tools. We would have to build the tools. Let's build the tools, actually. Alright, but we get the outlaw prince here. Alright, so Tudos enthrone him. And he's now the new ruler. And we grant him command. And we put him in this army. Yes. And then he has expert offensive planner, and then he's got an extra bonus somewhere, but 20% offense is just really nice. But he also has plus 30 army offense flat. Bro, that's so much. Let's find a barracks. Oh, we won't even be able to look at it on a barracks, right? We could look on irregulars, right? So, plus 30 was it? So it'll be more offensive than line infantry, more than skirmish, more than trench. We will have the same offense as squad infantry, which creates situations where you really want to make sure that the enemy's not expanding into you, but also we would just, I think we would only use infantry as long as we have Tudos around. And then like with Tudos, you can do some really pushed things, like you can fight Egypt. But I guess we just have to wait. We definitely don't want a coup to go down with Tudos, though. Right? We can make these guys happy, though. Definitely don't want the coup. The coup is not for you. Let's just say smell you later. We'll expose them as the traitors they are. I guess they're just not going back to government anyways. I'm glad they... I don't recall them having that penalty, but that negative penalty for throwing them out of government is definitely appropriate. I'm glad that it's in there. But Tudo should just roll them up, so then we can really quickly unify. And so the question is well, can we though, I guess? Yeah, okay. There we go. Tudo should be able to... Wait, why is this? Brother, you get plus 30 army offense. Is this bugged right now? Bro, if this is bugged, we're actually not going to do this round right now. Why do you have 8 offense, my guy? Does anyone know if this is bugged? Tudos right now? Is this the masochist run? This is practice for the masochist run. But the masochist run might be just bugged out. You are Shewa. That's why you get it, right? Yeah. Having only certain places that don't have academia, happy to see myself represented in suffering currently happening. Coup. Yeah. Organization. I don't think organization would have that big impact. Like, 8 is not an appropriate amount. Bro, is it not taking into account Tudos' bonus? Oh my god. I don't want to play Ethiopia, where the #1 flavor thing to highlight about Ethiopia is not present. I guess we'll do this. Well, we could have done that before just to make the armed forces happy. Oh well. But like, this is the thing. This is why you play this. I mean, I haven't done this since 1.5 dropped. I'm guessing it's just doesn't. This is not an amount you would get to from lack of org. Our org's not even that bad. Oh wait, where's the org? Just kidding. Yeah, it's not that bad. I mean, we still win that battle, but like, we couldn't take Shewa right now because they have 26 units, and this is not even considering the fact that we have expert offensive planner. Bro, it just doesn't work. I guess we got to put a pin in the Ethiopia run. Fuck. That's, I mean, I have so many viewers who are super hyped on it. Or not so many, but I have individual viewers who are hyped on it, especially one who's done a lot of donor requests for Ethiopia. But it, like, if we can't highlight... I'm gonna ping the Discord, or I'm not gonna ping it, but I'm just gonna ask on the Discord. Okay, so I guess we're gonna have to try the last country we wanted to. Oh, someone wanted Texas, so we'll take a look at Texas. But the idea is with plus 30, you, as long as, at least while you are attacking, you really just roll over everyone. And so this is pretty significant, and you could do stuff like, with good timing, fight Egypt. And so we were thinking we would try and fight Egypt when the Ottomans were going after them, as well as try and organically expand, so we're not going to go after someplace weird, but also work our way towards Persia and go for, like, kind of a united Arabia, except we're not Arabian, so that's, like, off theme, but, like, also not a big deal. And then as far as nation formation goes, it is better to just stay as Harar because our cultures are better, but so we would have maybe highlighted that, or I mean, this is what we're going to do when we eventually do an Ethiopia run, but maybe I'll pull it and see if people want us to play without Tudos, but like, this is like this is the unique flavor of, this is it. This is what we... Outlaw Prince is the thing, and it doesn't seem to be applying. Is it the stance that makes it untriggered? Advanced front? Woohoo, thank you, man. It's a difficult run for you. Texas? Well, I think Texas is partially RNG, so I don't think it necessarily means that we win it, but... I was thinking of doing a run where I play with only one state, but I was thinking I was going to do it with Panama. But we're going to take a look at Texas. Could also take a look at Panama. I mean, we've done Papal States before, so maybe we actually don't even need practice on it. That sucks with Tudos. Bro, he's so good. When he's working, I guess. Okay, so I think we start with a really good general now. Mr. Sam Houston, who's got expert defensive strategist, so we don't want to do anything other than put on adamant defense instead. And then I think a lot of it comes down to just, do you win this? And if the answer is yes, you just do your thing. But we could do, so light infantry, 25 defense. Cuirassiers, yeah, okay, light infantry have more defense, so we'll just do that. So we'll raise the conscripts. And then I suppose there's maybe a world where you actually want to open with building a barracks. Oh, what am I doing? If we want to absolutely... Let's just do some of this. Which will give us way more conscript amounts. Wait, why does it go from 5 to 6? The hell? Do we have to unpause? It should be way more than that. Oh, it's not way more than that, because we're already on the conscript heavy thing. It's like proportionally way less. Okay, we're not going to even bother with that. Let's see about passing some laws. Let's just do this. We start out with decent laws. Census suffrage is nice. Presidential republic is not. Are these just US's laws? They look a lot like US's laws. Slave trade. Looks like US's laws. Guess dedicated is maybe where we want to go. But why don't we check the grain price? It is high enough for us to force a market lib. So I guess that's what we're going to do with that. Then we're going to go to the classic stock exchange into Atmo engine and use the slingshot method. And so that kind of settles that. And then almost certainly we need the US to not think that we look like a tasty nom, and then we will build one construction sector and then wood. Put wood on auto expand. Maybe we don't want to do that. Do we have any buildings that we can change the PMs on? It's probably no good. It isn't. The logging camp will come in soon, so I think we'll go logging camp into tooling workshop. Something like this. We get corn laws, yay! And then with this guy on defense and having the defensive trait and conscripting up, I think we will be in okay shape. But if you low roll the battle, I think you just like have to restart the run. Is kind of how this goes. We're lacking some resources early on. Yeah, I think we'll just import the iron, but definitely doesn't feel good. It's possible that you have to recruit as your first thing you build. It has to be a barracks, but we're gonna try and do it without the barracks. Okay, looks like we just win this pretty comfortably, but maybe we should have built a barracks. I'm not sure what the answer to this is. Let me build the construction sector into a barracks. Maybe that's okay. Ooh, we did not put on the things, so we can also turn on liquor and just kind of scrape everything, And this isn't necessarily optimized, but that'll also give us that. So we could keep our morale a little bit better. General Santa Anna's captured. What's our war goal even? Return Mexican Texas. Well, I'm not sure what we're supposed to do here. We're just going to take a save and see if it gives us Mexican Texas by using Santa Ana. Because we do want Mexican Texas, right? Maybe that's too much to... Okay, so that just ends the play. And maybe we're not supposed to get Mexican Texas in that. Maybe that's a little bit too much, a bridge too far. Homesteading is good early here. We start on homesteading now? Oh, we don't, so it's not the US laws. Okay, well, tenant farmers is actually a little bit worse than serfdom here, because if we have serfdom, then... So maybe you actually want to open up by going for... So if you have serfdom, then it's easier to go tenant farming once you have the market liberal. Or sorry, it's easier to go homesteading. So the open might be actually going serfdom and then into homesteading because you are going to get the corn laws. Not really sure. Definitely looks like we are in fine shape though. And it would just be, it's just a matter of ecoing up from here, I think. Maybe there's a world in which we want to kind of go for romanticism earlier, because, oh, we have it. So we could do greener grass. And then ideas from here. We don't have any interests, but if we did have an interest, we could declare an interest in the Caucasus and try and get into Russia's market. This would maybe be good, and then eventually would kind of want to go for the usual suspects of, like, South Africa, Brunei, and, you know, the Bahrain as a subjugation, and then kind of build up a base from here. I mean, maybe there's a world where we join US's market so they don't aggro us. So maybe if the US will aggro you too much, if you join Russia's market, you join the US market instead. And this is maybe okay. I'm not sure if... I think that what happens here... I don't know how this event triggers, and we're not doing a Texas run, so I guess I don't need to know, but if maybe we have to avoid positive relations with the US, that's kind of an annoying thing, because we don't want them to come after us. Man, our SOL sucks. No good. But we should be able to pull a lot of migrants if we were inside someone's market from the unused arable land modifier, and then also we would aggressively greener grass, and so overall... Seems pretty good. Barracks didn't work on 3 attempts. It seems like advanced roles higher than defense somehow too. I've done it maybe 50 runs as Texas. Play it safe. 20 years is hard. 20 years is hard? What do you mean by 20 years? Wait, you've not won the war like with 50 times? That's crazy, dude. But, oh, you mean play it safe and go in the US's market? Yeah, we're not going to do, like, a full run start from here. We're just kind of, like... But if the US... The real problem will be if positive relations just annexes us, that would be a problem. But I'm assuming we can choose to not get annexed and get high relations with the US, and then just never start a diplomatic play within the US's, like, sphere of influence. So if we start diplomatic plays over here and over here where the US doesn't have an interest, they can't join against us for Texas. And if they have high relations, they can't try and annex us, and so we should be fine. And the US doesn't like to declare interests all over the place over here. They like to declare them in South America. And so I think we can join Russia's market from here and just not worry about the US probably. Maybe not. If you have to defensively like join their market and this is possible, then you could probably do this. But that seems not too bad. Let's take a look at another run. Right, because the biggest thing that's like prohibitive is like getting to the coast. Like some people, I've seen the discussion if Iquicha, is an impossible run. Actually, Playa suggested that. Let's take a look at them while we're on the subject of like really difficult starts. Because I remember discussing with him, he's probably not here anymore, but whether or not this was a worse start than Circassia. I think Circassia's, or not, the Caucasian Emirate. So whether this is a worse start, which I think it is, probably, maybe not, than Iquicha. Let's take a look at Iquicha. They like to declare you, so then you just have to get, do you automatically get annexed with positive relations? If you have positive relations, they can't deck you. And as long as you just don't start a war, any place they have a diplomatic interest, they can't join against you. And you can also join on their side when they go after Mexico and then declare a war in a place that they have an interest, or you can just join. But okay. We have this confederation thing. We must do all we can to preserve this fragile confederation so that a true and complete unit. Oh, does this mean we can play as the head of this? If the union... That's not going to be difficult if that's the case. We start with interventionism. That's wild. We're an unrecognized power. But we start with interventionism. And presidential republic. It's very interesting. State religion. Alright, let's see Paul Allen's. Okay, so almost certainly, I mean, we're in the Bolivian market, but we could do this. And proc corn laws, no? Landowners have to be part of the government. Gotcha. So that'll proc corn laws. I mean, we start with interventionism, so it's not that bad. What is our tech? Tech's kind of normal looking. Just like semi-backward European. Now... what about this run is supposed to be spectacularly hard? Other than you don't start with coast. Do we just get annexed in X years and we have to get free before then? Could build one cotton plantation. I think I like some of this, maybe. Again, we're just trying to get a feel for what's going on, more so than like trying to get the full shebang. Let's improve here and here. We do get corn laws. They exile your diplomats and declare it. It seems then you probably just have to join their market with the Texas. That's interesting. You don't see the AI use that too much. I mean, we're definitely not currently using our stuff. We should be. We're anticipating getting the... We don't need to start doing the law pastures yet, but we should be doing some of this. Something like that. At least until we start passing the law, then we can break back some of the authority. Hey, don't want to distract you. No, you're good. Although we're probably going to wrap up soon. We just wanted to do a short little stream, try out a few things. Do want to take a look at the Papal States real quick as well. Because this is just like kind of a workshop-y stream. But I guess we're kind of taking requests to some extent. At least taking a short look at some of these. So, we are unrecognized, so we can't really afford to do that for too long, huh? So, I guess we just finished the lumber camp. So, let's do this. Let's say, smell you later. Sorry. So, it is like, I mean, it's probably actually just 55k is a pretty rough number to start with. I mean, we can siphon off as long as we do a big movement for landed voting. Holy snapples. Everyone wants something else. Is this guy... We just high rolled having a Democrat at the start? Man, we always get luck on the practice runs. Well, I think we just go census suffrage then, maybe. Have to get it in quick. So let's ditch this popsicle stand here, so we can get the law just a little bit faster. And we're just relying on base construction. Definitely afford some institutions. And once this guy stops being a Democrat, though, which he will. By this guy, I mean this gentleman. Once he stops being a Democrat, this gets harder, but you can probably just re-roll for the Democrat. Forget the exact conditions. You can't always do it. Oh, I didn't even read the rest of your question. I guess you didn't distract me. I've been asking the Discord around how to not be bad as Russia. I can't get the pops to not be on subsistence farms. Any quick advice? Getting off of serfdom does a lot because it increases how much fake money they're getting, which increases their fake SOL, the peasants, them being the peasants. And so this is going to be important. But I'd also advise just kind of spreading out a little bit more with Russia at the start. Actually, I might be doing a tutorial on Russia. I've been thinking, what? We can't exile this guy. Yeah, no, we're gonna give him popularity. We want to finish up census suffrage here, but God, this run is just so strong at the start. Look at this. We're just gonna get census suffrage into like all the econ laws. But what you do on Russia, we'll actually take a quick look at Russia as well, I think maybe. But the thing with Russia is like your problem is qualifications, and so it's a little bit hard to build tall. And so what you do, I think, is the strategy is you kind of set up building tall in Luhansk, and you set up building tall in Perm, kind of at the start, I think. Perm because it's like the absolute best from the resources perspective, and Luhansk because this is the New Russia New Russia Limited company, and so you eventually do have to have a high level steel mill there, and so you kind of want to prep it a little bit. And so what you can do to prep it is you could encourage social mobility in these places, and then in other places, you just build one level of logging camp and put it on auto expand. You have your first company when you get laissez-faire be the chopping company, and you look to just chop in a bunch of different places, export, and then in Perm and Luhansk, there's where you build your tools. Because as a result of the PMs, like logging, the base output on sawmills is 1,200 worth of softwood, and then it's only 200 input of value worth of tools. So them being disaffected by the mapping of their inputs, not too big a deal, and so you just build the logging all over the place, and then you export it. And by spreading it out, you're less hampered by the qualifications. Is kind of how I would set that up. Okay, let's get rid of this. You don't need to keep all those once the event fires. But we did. Bro, this round seems... This start seems incredibly good. I think it's that we have only a certain number of years to get free. Is probably it. This seems like it's a bit more of an involved start where we'd actually try and play it really tight. Like we have to actually like play this tight in order to be able to maybe go after Bolivia here. And or hope that someone else declares on Bolivia, but then we're just like a straight up subject, right? So yeah. And then now we become illegitimate, but we can promote this, or we can grant this gentleman leadership. And then reform the government, maybe. Oh, we need an election, don't we? Okay, but we can decrease taxes here. And try and pass our law. Laissez-faire. Which is going to be incredibly bad right now, actually, for us, because we're going to lose majority of... Oh, wait, I forgot. You get to control all of the construction when you have no construction sectors. So I guess we're going to be on that for a hot second. We see this pop up, so I assume we can just decrease taxes and get rid of it. And I assume correctly. And then... Maybe we don't even want to get rid of them that fast, but we like had a Democrat at the start, so that just seemed kind of nice. But also, like, if you look at the laborers involved in this, it's only 500 machinists and 4,000 laborers. And so, generally speaking, logging camps are going to be easier to employ up when you have qualification problems as well, like, as opposed to, like, taking a look at the tooling workshop when we swap to this. Oh no, it's the same amount. Once we're on steel tools, though, the qualifications will be harder because we'll have engineers. And you get steel tools relatively early, so, like overall, it's a little bit more annoying. Alright. Yeah. We could change him to radical. Let's not, because we don't want to get... Yeah, let's just change him to a reformer. And then we're hyper-legitimate. We're passing LF. Seems fine enough. I guess we would probably want to lean into this a little bit more than normal. Because we have very, very few pops anyways. I mean, we could see what happens with the journal entry, but what is it? We have 20 years to... Well, what's going on here? Do we not... I don't see our journal entry. Let's... So we would have to fight everyone. Let's do the journal entry. Is the AI not affected by low org penalties? I think they should be, but I haven't verified this specifically. You can't build enough and can't keep up with the 2 billion pop growth on Russia. You just need more construction sectors then, my friend. This game can be so frustrating. 50% front advantage, completely unable to push through a single region. There might be something weird going on as to why you specifically can't push. You like playing New Granada? New Granada is interesting. We could take a closer look at Panama. I don't think we'll play very far into the start. I don't see a journal entry that's like us getting annexed, but like this is... God, we just roll all of the popular playwright events like during our practice run is terrible. Because this is the best event you can roll, but when you're playing someone really small... It's useless once you're big, but yeah, we'll take a look at Panama too, I suppose. I don't think we need to take a look at Papal States. Maybe we will. I just wanted to like test a lot of these out. Maybe we build a construction sector again after this, but maybe I can also get Brazil to join. Let's actually see if Brazil just wants to join, huh? Because, so the thing is, we need both independence and coast. Once you have coast, like, it's over. It isn't over till you say it's Jover, but it's over. So we would want to maybe take Ica. Just kidding, we would want to take Lima. So we would want to go independence. I'm just kind of seeing what this looks like from other people helping us perspective. It doesn't look like they want to help us, even though they should have an antagonistic relationship. But then we could conquer state Ica, right? Or sorry, Lima, and we would want this to be our independence here. Something that looks like this. Maybe even more. And so the question is do we have to get this powerful in the first 20 years? Or like we just get auto-annexed? Or does it not auto-annex us because we're an AI? and we could maybe get something else done. That's kind of the question. As Russia, your only finished game got to 5k construction by 1900 and was never able to get under 25% pop on sub-farms, which turned out to be 60 million pops. Are you specifically building where you have peasants, though? You gotta also build where you have peasants, generally. I mean, to some degree, you want to build in places that have good mapping initially, but then, like, eventually you, like, start carrying a lot more. Oof. We have 6 infrastructure? Bro. Bro. Okay, so maybe this is part of why it's hard. We somehow have to get a military where we can go after Bolivia while only having 6 infrastructure to work with. So even if they don't annex us, that would be the problem, right? And maybe we could do a diplomatic claim. We could declare an interest. So we could improve relations with Brazil. I mean, we're not planning on doing this run, but yeah, maybe this run is really hard. I still don't think it's as hard as the Caucasian imamate. I have to imagine that one's harder. But this, like, from the perspective of getting strong enough to do something, having 4 infrastructure to work with in order to get strong is, like, it's not tenable. So we would have to. So as regarding the tech, oh, bro, I mean, super early modern sewage, maybe. I don't know. It's interesting how quickly we could get the law passes, though. That felt really nice, but I think we're gonna take a look at something else. Did anyone else have something specific in mind? I'm gonna take a quick look at Panama. Yeah, we're using up all the luck getting the playwrights on the practice rounds. Germany versus France, trying to get Alsace-Lorraine. I have Trench and they're still on skirmish. I have all the extra modifiers, extra advantage. You don't want to directly push into the AI. You want to instead land and jockey around and try and land and then push with cavalry and then take their capital instead of pushing in through Prussia. Just as a general heuristic. You, like, trying to advance through troops of anyone who's reasonably strong is like throwing your guys into a wood chipper to some degree. I had an idea for doing this as a run where we just play as Panama, and the rules of the run is we can take treaty ports, but we're not allowed to take a single other state, so we just have to play as Panama only, which I thought was an interesting idea for a run. I haven't really run it past anyone or discussed it anywhere, but I think from the very outset we would just put these down and just, like, never get rid of these decrees. Like, these are our decrees. There are many decrees like them, but these ones are ours. And stock exchange we would not need, because we're a single state. We would not need to rush it. But the thing is, do we rush ammo engine? Do we even have mines? We have coal mines. We don't have anything that demands coal, though. So I think we would just open up with, something like, well, I don't even think we can afford a thing. So I think we actually open up with, wow, what a weird open. I think open up with a logging camp, and then not very legitimate. On wealth voting, interventionism, per capita taxation. Per capita is a little bit annoying. So maybe we actually are supposed to go land-based taxation here at the very start, so we could go prop tax a little bit later. I think this is fine, probably. We're floating, but we're not max floating. We're not going to go stock exchange. Once we lean into trade a lot, stock exchange will be extremely useful, because Mappy does disaffect trade. But do we even need Atmo engine? Bro, what are we supposed to research here? Well, I think we actually do want the water tube boiler a little bit quick, and we're going to need railways. So I guess we're going to slingshot this from the outset. Unless, is there a society tech that would maybe be reasonable? Maybe it's still the move. to go stock exchange. We'll get up to 10k and then we'll go stock. Oh no, if that's what we're doing, I think it's better to do this. Wow, crazy. We have one state and we don't really care about stock exchange, but I think it's still the play. So very interesting. But the idea behind this run was that it would be, I thought, an interesting constraint. Like, Panama's not a good state to do this with. Like, Texas or California would be way, way better for doing a single state mission. But you will get the Panama Canal, which means you will be able to do trade routes and such a lot better, and we could still subjugate other countries. We just can't annex anything, was the idea behind this run. Maybe we'll run it in a poll and see what people are into. Only starting the stream now. I hope you try out Transvaal. I guess we could take a little bit of a test run. I guess maybe we're just gonna kind of like think through the Panama run a little bit if we were to do it, because it's really not like the start's not like dangerous at all, and so like it would just be a matter of building up, and so it's perhaps actually uninteresting. Everyone wants to preserve per capita here, but yeah, you just play on a single state. We would get a bunch of treaty ports and also get a bunch of subjects and try and see how big we could run the GDP up with just a single state being controlled. Obviously, we would take multiple treaty ports on the Great Qing. The treaty ports would also allow us to build, very importantly, would allow us to build up the navy for the convoys, because we would be trying to run a huge industrial economy off of trade, which I don't think is possible, but it's interesting to think about. And the reason I don't think it's possible is because we would have to import an enormous amount of these goods. I think early on we would maybe want to get into someone's market, and maybe we just would have to stay inside someone's market. And then the question is okay, well, whose market's best? Probably Russia. And so we could declare, well, we can't declare any interests, but I think that this would maybe be the thing. But I also think that looking at Transvaal makes sense, because we were planning on doing a Transvaal start. Transvaal is interesting because you have a ton of discrimination. You could take advantage of the combat width only being 4. Oh, you're right. That's hot. You're right. That's right. You probably do fertilizer? Yeah, but only to like a very limited extent. Like, or wait, fertilizer, you're talking about this. Yeah, fertilizer would be good here. The fertilizer loop. I think that, like, I mean, it's just jailbreak is the main name of the game. And if you get on the coast, then you go for South Africa and you play normal. But the Russian start sounds like you just need more construction. You didn't have a big enough navy as Prussia? Yeah, that's something you gotta do before you do the Alsace-Lorraine thing then. I think we'll take a quick look at Transvaal. But I did just want to mention that. Can't even make Suez as Panama? Come on, at least Suez is allowed. No, you can get the treaty port from buying the land, and then you can build the canal. Would be the rules. Treaty port only, so you can just buy it. Thassalocracy. Annex Suez's canal. No, because you can just buy the canal. You can buy the thing to build the Suez Canal. But we are planning on doing a Transvaal run, and we might actually do Transvaal instead of Ethiopia if Tudos is just bugged. But yeah, he is just bugged. Kalea hitting us with the knowledge on the Discord. Bro, that's that's tragic. Alright. I guess we'll run it in a poll, whether people want us to I mean, like, well, I wanted to showcase Tudos. But we do have Transvaal here, and Transvaal is really interesting. And we're going to talk about it more. I do think I want to make it a semi-tutorial thing where we talk about both playing so Transvaal, I think it's the strongest single-state start in the game. That's not a releasable. Mainly because you have a ton of iron and coal and logging, and 12 gold will appear here, so just super, super, super pushed in that regard. And you go after Aranya, and just really, really strong. And the only question is how do you need to execute going after Aranya? I think it's better to go through the coast on Gaza after some reflection, because you can colonize through regular Malaria up north. And if you're not going to take both Gaza and Zulu, Gaza would be preferable to take. But it's definitely a bit of a weird jailbreak because it's like we do what we do every run, but in reverse. Instead of going after South Africa, we are South Africa. Of course, with any sort of single state start, all these edicts are going to be way better. And so we're just going to open with a much bigger... do we need greener grass? Greener grass probably does nothing. I think the main strat would be getting into UK's market. You notably can form UK as Transvaal. If you annex Cape Colony, you can form Cape Colony. And if you're playing Cape Colony and Great Britain does not exist, you can form it. And so that'd be the meme run. I think you just want to open with just conquering them right off the bat. And then definitely want all of these to be... let's actually decrease enlistment efforts. Hiya. Let's do that. And they get 16 gold. And so really, we're gonna go stock exchange into atmospheric engine, but then once we get 10k progress, we're not going to finish lathe. We're going to let lathes keep gnat spreading, and we're actually going to go intensive agriculture to go for an earlier nitroglycerin than you otherwise would. Yeah, our army's huge relative to Orania. Orania, of course, can get a little bit of help from the UK, in which case the run's dead. But I'm pretty confident they don't always get help from the UK. And then we'll also have an adjacency with the UK. Why don't we improve relations with them as well, because they can thumb our pie a little bit. But the combination of gold and two extraordinary mappy states basically at game start, it just makes this like run feel like super pushed for a single state start, and then like you have the gold. You even have like relatively good stuff on your agriculture, where like cotton plantation is actually the single best thing to dabble in, because I mean, I think most people forget about this, and I forget about it sometimes, but the throughput, 25% cotton plantation throughput on lathe makes like the first building you build of a cotton plantation obscene. Not that we're going to build a cotton plantation at the like outset here. Oh, did we not construct anything? Alright, let's do this, and then let's do that. Can't import from anyone, but it should be fine. The couriers should be able to get in. Except we need a general, because we're good at this game. I'm gonna stick that guy on adamant defense. That way we have a better defender. I don't think this is mountains, so we'll take the diplomat boy, and he should be able to push just fine here. Transvaal is a fun start, and you make loads of money from the gold mines and easily get a treaty port by invading Gaza, then invading Zulu. I think you probably don't want to go after Zulu, but I think you want to go after Borneo instead. I guess Zulu's probably better than doing the Arabia circuit though, huh? Maybe you do, because you just can't, there's not enough soft targets for the amount of boats you want to build in the super early game. Yeah, this will probably be our last little practice shot. I don't think I need to practice the Papal States. We've done enough Italy stuff and Papal State stuff, because we've done somewhat recently a run for them. I suppose not since they made the Rigatoni event chain, but let's import guns from them, and then just do some of this. But I think this is like pretty fundamentally how you would start this. It's not a very difficult start though. I think it's very comfortable. Just the only question is, does the UK join against you? And if the answer is yes, you restart. And if the answer is no, then you're super set. You restart or reload, I suppose. I guess we didn't check the status. Okay, so this is probably... We probably can't raise it. Well, maybe we could raise it enough. You didn't really... Oh, yeah, baby. Look at that. So let's put the landowners in government. So it looks like we can comfortably go corn laws too, which is super nice. And then as soon as we hit corn laws, you don't actually need to maintain this, so we'll just kill... The only thing you need to maintain is you need to maintain the export prioritization, so we'll just do that. So we will be getting the corn laws. We can reform pretty quickly. We'll float, again, kind of what we've been doing this whole time. We'll float the authority. And then we can pass isolationism. Sucks we start on Pres Republic, but we could just go monarchy back into parliamentary. No bread, no freedom, that's true. Let's actually go monarchy here. Because I think we passed this pretty quick, and then the landowners are super happy. Well, I mean, we're doing that, but like, I'm just thinking what the sequence is, because we do want to. It's so weird when you pass monarchy because you hate presidential republic, but ooh, this guy is the president. Does that complicate things? I think that does, because then he would be the monarch. Well, maybe he would be okay as the monarch to BH. Why does he have so much power? We have landed voting, and is it because we have presidential republic? And then as soon as we get off of it, his power will tank, but we will still have a... That's a little bit interesting. Whatever, we're just going to try enacting monarchy. And we'll keep the laissez-faire guy. Well, actually, let's promote him, but... Actually, well, so here's the thing, is these guys always die in, like, 36 months. So, let's actually... Yeah. I think I like this. We'll cancel this. Didn't we stop promoting the export? There we go. End of the corn laws. Super. Everyone's happy. So, and we're still at relatively low infamy. I guess you're right. I guess we do go after Zulu here, right? Let's take a little bit of save, actually. I think the UK is much more likely to intervene in this one. Because it borders one of... This seems to be the case. Like, if it borders one of their boyos, they're more likely to be like, hey, that's not nice. Or at least this has been my perception. But the start is just super easy, because you get to have the super good map, and you get to have the gold, you get to have it all, and you don't even have to invade Africa to get it, which is what you normally have to do. You just have it all naturally. Let's just raise the conscripts here. I think we have the edict, and we don't necessarily need it anymore, so... Right. So let's actually get rid of that, and, which should kill... Oh, do we still have 6 conscripts? No way, dude. It's wild. But we should be able to conscript up here and win this against them. Once we come on up. Or actually, maybe we don't, because our line infantry is super... Yeah, they're actually super bricked right now. Shoot. We barely have any troops left, right? Yeah. Maybe this will be a little bit of a difficult one. So maybe we're supposed to defend a couple times. Let's also do that. Get a little bit of a movement here. I always forget your recovery rate's like pretty butt, so we'll just let them come in on a couple battles and then, so maybe we... Maybe we can grind them down a little bit. The one notable thing about this start is you start out with a ton of radicals, so I think that you probably do want to build... Why are we building that? You probably want to build a university a little bit more aggressively than you otherwise would. Kind of a game start. We, oh no, it was too much. It was too much. I forgot these guys recruit back really slow. Still, like, adjusting, like, most of my sample is, like, before they made, like, these changes and stuff, so, like, yeah, we just can't do that war back to back to back, actually, which is a little bit rough. You are Austria? That's, oh, you're Austria. For the... Wait, I think the strategy is still going to be the same as Austria going in on the other guys. But, like, even here, like, we have such a nice power base here. It is interesting that, yeah, I think the stock exchange is still correct, but we do stock exchange into Atmo. And this is not spreading at a decent clip because we have decent literacy. So this NAT spread might finish in time. It looks like it's just a little bit behind pace of the stock exchange. So we would be ready to go mechanical tools into railways, which I think that's the play. Or even mechanical tools into water tube boiler, to be honest. This might be a little bit better depending on how much infra we have. And then we go like for nitroglycerin super early because we want that extra resource discovery chance. Because we're sitting on, was it, I think 28 gold mines, if I'm not mistaken, in all this. Ooh, do we start out with the new colonial affair? No, we don't start out with the new frontier colonization law, but we could pass it pretty easy. So I guess it would be just chill mode for at least a little bit. Maybe we're trying to play this tighter. I think we might just kind of catch up with chat and call it a stream, though. So we did want to make this one quite a bit shorter. But and there's so much to say about Transvaal, but like, I do think that for a starting steps video on Transvaal, we're going to actually mainly focus on talking about why gold is so good, and also how you play like single state starts, which is joining someone's market is extremely strong, and then edicts are extremely strong. Although already edicts are like falling off to some degree, but we can like kind of dual state from here from Transvaal and Freistadt, but also we just have the enormous like difficulty of being really, really rough on the discrimination specifically, so we actually would we're going to build way more universities than we like otherwise would, you know, with like same conditions. Like, I think we're actually going to build a university next. And I think we swapped iron frame here, and then look to solve that. At least on a temporary basis by importing from the British, because we don't have Atmo engine yet, so we really don't want to. Wow, we get the music back to back to back. Also unique that practically all of your pops are slaves. Are they really slaves? Not just discriminated? Let's double check. Like 4% were slaves, but they are all discriminated. Yeah, except for like the Boer, except for like the 9.6k here. Other than that, which is like why we're going to have qualification problems like really, really quick. So, and in fact we might already be having them, so we do definitely have to lean into the uni a lot more. So I guess this means we'll be building Transvaal a lot more, which means we're going to run out of infrastructure pretty quick here. It looks like a fun place where there's many options to expand, plus get into the colony game. Yeah, you get like a nice surface area, and you could play just like South Africa too. It's like a nice place to play. You get a lot of, eventually when you get up in here, you get a lot of other mappy states here. Or not a lot, but you do get other mappy states like in the region a little bit, specifically here. I don't think you get them anywhere else really. I think you get like the resources, but not the full iron and coal. I mean, you do if you take Benin, but that's kind of not that efficient, and so it's like it's really here is where you want it, where it's at. But you could also form the UK. I don't think we're gonna form the UK for this run, although maybe we would. So, isn't subjugate better with 10 extra construction? The problem is we want the coast, and then we want the gold. And we want to kind of go earlier than normal for the nitroglycerin, so we will be able to roll the gold faster. But after that, subjugating, yeah. So subjugating Zulu, if that's what you're referring to, subjugating Zulu, you're probably right. It's probably better to subjugate Zulu here and just go for the long game for the extra 10 construction. Why is Presidential Republic bad? It's generally harder to have high legitimacy on it. And in the long term, it's just kind of worse. And so just like, it's kind of subtle, but like, there's specifically, when you are needing to get the trade unionists into government, very often your initial like pump up will have the industrialists be president very often, and if the industrialists are president and you're on Presidential Republic, it's basically impossible to be very legitimate while having the trade unionists in, and there's a bunch of trade unionist laws you want to pass, and so this often like it's like a super bricky specific context when you're trying to get the trade unionists to come up. And it's really frustrating, and it's really hard to deal with once you're at the point where the industrialists and the Intelligentsia are really strong and not the landowners. Then it's really hard to actually go monarchy into parliamentary, and so like you almost have to go presidential into council just to like kind of do what you want to do, which you don't want to do that early, and so it just like feels bad. It's easier if you start defending, but yeah, Zulu has good pops. Yeah, it's mainly that, like, also that these had gone down to 400, and actually, you know why it felt especially bad? These places can't recruit back up because they can't get officers because of qualifications, because of discrimination. That's actually why it feels spectacularly extra bad. I guess we could just do the one ship shuffle. That's probably correct. So I guess we are supposed to build a port here and then like build a navy. Yeah, bro, that feels like so bad. We need man wars first. Yeah, that's fair. I guess first things first, right? Let's get these things down in Transvaal, but I mean, if you're not using your infamy decay, you're losing it is one of the problems here. So I guess we would just, where's the man of war? Import from the British. And then I guess we don't need the port as quickly as possible, but we do kind of want the, oh my god. Dude, my brain's on 1.4. I'm like trying to build through, not through the army, I'm trying to build through the building interface. Why wouldn't you go for Zulu and Gaza? Getting both is just kind of so they have a, well, going for Zulu's not terrible, but like I'd rather go after like Congo where you're gonna get resources plus rubber. Right, so it's gonna have, instead of just having coal, it's gonna have coal plus, like, you're just not getting that dense a resource quantity in Zululand for like the infamy relative to other things you can do, but it's actually not that bad. But like Marina Kingdom has a better resource density, like per infamy or whatever, for example, or at least this portion does. 23 logging camps is a lot. And then Congo, yeah, I mean, Zulu's not like terrible to take, but like Benin would be better, and I'm sometimes critical of Benin not being that efficient, because it's like you pay the max infamy per province on Benin, but it's got Mappy. I think I'd rather take Benin. Rather take Zanzibar too, for the eventual strategic ability to colonize the places that actually have good Mappy here. So why can't we, oh, we can't swap because we just swapped, that's fair. So I guess we do free trade here, and then we do monarchy. We're just gonna make these guys real men. And then they're gonna be the monarchs stuck in. But then for the military, I think we just abuse ooh, we don't even have a declared interest, so we can't even do the single ship shuffle. So where's your god now? Where's your what's it called? The whatever, oh my god, I'm blanking. The event that gives you plus 20 prestige. Where is it when you need it? Renowned playwright. Renowned playwright would be what we would need to start doing the single ship shuffle. Although the single ship shuffle, again, we're gonna have problems with these things can't recruit up. And I'm sure it's the same with our conscripts as well. And we're losing a ton of money. Why are we losing so much money? Alright, time to delete the construction sector. We can't because a rev is brewing. Wow, the truth hurts. Alright, let's do that. Pain. We would want to go gas streetlights kind of eventually. We're also like kind of cruising through this at like a faster speed than we like should be. It's gonna cause a shortage. Oh, I think our boy won the election, right? Yeah, he won the election. So let's go monarchy now. And I think we will look to go services, and then can we swap? We only have one urban center, but oh, this would be so much simpler if we were inside UK's market. I think we want to get in there too. Sorry, this is totally random, but do you think they'll remove yo-yo sways? No, I don't. I think that's such a low priority for them. And like most of the people, I think most people are not aware that you can do it, because you have to do it immediately after you like join one side. Like if you have the game running, like it breaks the mechanism. And I think that it's like not the most straightforward thing to find. And like I think it's a single player game. Like if you want to make it easier, you can. If you want to swap sides and capitulate, you can. So like if you have a problem with the yo-yo sway, you just shouldn't do it, I think, more than anything. And then if you don't have a problem with it, then you just do it. I was actually very surprised that like people are super on the fence. Or like, they're actually probably not on the fence. They probably feel strong one way or another, but roughly half and half think it's exploitative and versus think it's not exploitative. We could actually run that poll. It'd be a little bit interesting. This feels like your EIC run. Yeah. You should play as the EIC. Northern Cape doesn't even have malaria, so you can colonize it immediately once you get frontier colonization. Yeah. Eventually, you are in the way of the British sandwich expansion from both sides. I guess that's why you joined their market. Yeah. Also, your primary culture eventually becomes English once you get Cape Colony. So we have a rev brewing. Looks like smell you later. But now, swapping to parliamentary would be very hard. And so there's probably a way to do it where you can take the positive approval from the monarchy swap and make the re-swap back a little bit better. So maybe we're actually supposed to wait a little bit before doing it. The thing is like, these boils will lose power pretty quick, to be honest, anyways, so. The Evangelical Church. Yeah, I guess it's chill mode, so I guess we'll just put in some consumption taxes. I don't know. Maybe we violently... Oh, we can't even violently suppress in Fristadt. Maybe we do road maintenance there then. I guess we don't want enlistment efforts. Maybe we do resource industry. To be fair, eventually manufacturing industry is going to be better pretty quick. Something like this. I don't know if that's optimal. It's probably not, but it's not super insane. Okay, so we're getting close to the 10k, so I think what we're going to do... Oh, we already have lathe. Okay, so perfect. Oh, did we just high roll it not spreading to us? Baby, we're so good at this game. Look at all the good RNG. Yeah. Just get all the good RNG on the practice runs. I think we survived the revs super easy, but what do these guys want? Enact racial segregation. I guess we're super okay with that, so might as well. It's not like we're passing anything. Look at this. Look how fast this crank up is, though. Jesus. And we haven't even discovered any gold yet. So Atmo engine's gonna be just coming around the corner. So actually, we should be doing this. And then steel's not gonna be good just yet. But trade agreement, we could probably join their market. Like just very comfortable. You know. It's very, very comfortable. And so the question is how much infra do we have here actually? Infra's not so good, so I think we actually, yeah, I think we do want to go mech tools. This is not spreading to us anyways, so we might as well let that not spread actually be really good for us. And once that finishes, then we'll go nitroglycerin, which means we'll probably have time to pick up water tube. Maybe not. We'll see. Or actually we won't, because we're probably going to be done streaming pretty soon here. But like this start just feels so comfy, and like, so the things to do to optimize is we haven't been decaying infamy, and we want to be decaying infamy. It's just really rough because we can't recruit. We're having a hard time refilling our army after those first two wars because of the discrimination. Like that's the really big driver of our problems here. And so maybe it's the case that you actually don't even want to build any construction. Maybe you just want to build 2 universities, because this might be the driving factor that prevents unemployment more than anything else. I'm not sure. We are in the UK's market, so we can just swap these straight away, which is nice. We don't need to build them ourselves yet. But this is nice. Oh, well, we can turn this back on, but I think that we actually can't really afford it, and then the auto queue is going to be really annoying. And so maybe it's, yeah, dude, that's wild if we actually build a uni before a construction sector just because of the discrimination. That's such an interesting, it's such an interesting thing. Of course, now we actually do really want on greener grass campaigns on both these guys. I think more than social mobility, so and 15 attraction, 18 attraction. Not a lot, but a little bit. The crazy thing is, like, we also, like, are really low on pops in these areas, so, like, it can be actually a little hard to get these things employed up. Alright, we do get racial segregation pretty quick. Really do want public health insurance, but this requires pharmaceuticals. Oof. Looks like people say it's not an exploit. You feel like infra is a big problem because you don't have a port? Yeah, that's fair. We're about to like run into that. We super high rolled the not spreading the Atmo engine though. Although I guess we didn't super high roll not spreading intensive, which is a bit of a thing. We haven't incorporated here. If we don't incorporate, it actually makes some of our stuff way better. It makes like the fact that we were using an edict in there way better, but I think it's fine to just incorporate. I think let's kick this port down. We really don't need it at this point. But we don't want to lose the progress we have on it. Hey GG, hey Danny. Oh man, when people say hi and we're like also kind of wrapping up, I always feel bad. But hello, welcome to the impromptu / short stream. I think we're gonna be wrapping it up pretty quick. It is an exploit, so is exiling to get the right leader ideologies, but I will use it anyways until Paradox makes diplomacy and leader ideologies more interactive. That's definitely fair. I mean, I will definitely be saving before my diplomatic plays, and then reloading if something psychotic happens that I don't want to deal with, until they fix diplo plays, which I hope they do. I might switch to playing Iron Man after, which will require, like, a lot of adjustment, because sometimes I just overlook something and I reload, which is, like, a thing. But once the 1.6 comes out, Spheres of Influence, like, if the AI, like... there is something to say about, like, being able to get, like, really, like, proper messed up that is, makes the game more interesting. But yeah, like, oh my god, it's just, even with the discrimination and, like, the difficulties in playing up, like, this just feels so responsive to us, like, building stuff, the economy, and we haven't even discovered the gold. Bro, B-R-O-H, bro. Can you please say more about why we care about capitalist ownership when we're only under 800 million GDP? Sure. We could talk about it really quick. So there's two modifiers that give free money. Laissez-faire gives plus capitalist investment pool contribution efficiency. And the way this modifier works is capitalists will contribute 20% of their investment pool, which is already bigger than other groups, well, actually, this is probably really key. So aristocrats contribute 10%, capitalists contribute 20%. Whenever this is modified, as it is modified by this plus capitalist investment pool contribution efficiency, what happens is it doesn't take more money from the capitalist. So if we take a look and we see positive dividend, as we will with this capitalist here, this weekly balance, 20% of this, the capitalists will reinvest in the investment pool. However, when we have this positive modifier, it's not the case that 20% reaches the investment pool. Instead, 20%, whatever's taken out from him, is then multiplied by whatever modifiers we have. And so in this case, it would be 1.25 with laissez-faire, meaning that more money than what was taken from him reaches the investment pool. And so that margin, instead 25% will reach the investment pool. And so that margin, that extra 5% from 20 to 25, that is free money that appears from nowhere. And free money modifiers are really, really strong. And so you get this free money modifier. However, as your GDP gets bigger, a malus gets applied to the investment pool. And so here you see all our investments are multiplied by 2.7x, by x 2.76. This is the case until you get to 10 million, where they will be multiplied by 1. So we're under 10 million GDP, so we'll actually get a bonus. Once you're at 10 million, it will decrease linearly until you reach 2 billion GDP. The breakpoint, the breakpoint at which the bonuses for the industrialists, the capitalist investment pool contribution efficiency, one of which you get from laissez-faire, which is the one we pointed out, and the other one is you get from just on the industrialists having job creators when they are happy. So this will be plus 20%. It'll be double what the cloud is above 20%. Around 868 million, I think, is the breakpoint where the bonuses can no longer overtake the effect of this malice as it trends towards times a 0.3 modifier for the investment pool, and instead it will be a negative money modifier, and so money will start getting deleted, at which point you would prefer to actually decrease the contribution to the investment pool, and the easiest way to do that is by instead going Council Republic, which gets rid of all your capitalists. So this is why you really, like, stop caring about something being capitalist, like maybe around 600 million GDP, and then it becomes actively bad at 868 million, something like this. I think it's 868. I don't remember the exact number. The exact number is not too important because it'll fluctuate, but this is why. How early do you go for a colonization as Transvaal? Well, this is just a practice run, but I think we do have to go for railways pretty early. And colonization is based on your incorporated pop, so even if we had colonization, it really wouldn't be that useful. I think we just let colonization not spread to us, but it might have already. I mean, if we have okay, so we have the law, so we might as well pass it if we're not passing anything. This would be preferable. Okay, so but we can't pass it unless we put the armed forces in government. But we definitely want to get kind of rolling on it. We're not like waiting for anything specific, but it's also not going to be a very valuable institution because our pop is so low. So we don't want to like play around trying to get it as quickly as possible. But gold does appear up here, so that's kind of relevant. And Transvaal is a trickier start than it looks based on the resources over it. Definitely, because you have this huge discrimination problem. We're going to build a uni there, and then we're going to build a second one here. But I think that, like, the 2 unis will go just an incredibly long way. We'd probably research philosophy department a little earlier than you otherwise would. Minus enactment time is strong if we wanted to float. I think we just kind of do this. Maybe the second uni is no good. I'm not sure if it's good. I guess we'll find out. We're gonna put this back to the bottom. Or I guess we're probably not gonna find out because I'm trying to talk and play, and then also just catch up with the chat until we get done. But it's definitely trickier. But it's trickier because of the you just have to build a lot more universities for the reasons of qualifications early on, and then it kind of just will handle itself. And then like if you take a look at how quickly these are coming back up, you notice we were stuck at like 400 for forever, and then we built the university, and then it started picking up. And so, you know, it's definitely interesting that it's like that though. Can you conscript discriminated pops? You can, but you still have to get qualifications for the officers. So like you still have to. My understanding of how this, I mean, you conscript up really, really slow if you don't have qualifications. We need our people to be either Boer or English, but also, if we're in the UK's market, which we are, we're now getting migration. Who's migrating? Well, we're getting slaves. But we're getting 22 migrants from the Highlands, the Lowlands, Ulster. And these guys will be able to serve in the army. So big inside of market's also going to be really important for the discrimination. Did we ever beat Zulu? No, we didn't. We probably could now, though. Just subjugate them. Except we can't subjugate them because we're still an insignificant power, so we'd only be able to conquer. Maybe this is why we conquered. This is probably what we want to do. Because we can't declare an interest. If we could declare an interest, then we would just want to start taking places that have 0, we'd want to take stuff like Bahrain and Mara, which have 0 troops. And so we could just land them with our 1 stack, but... So I guess we do take Zulu pretty early on here. And then we will mobilize. I don't think we actually. I think we would prefer Couriers to be honest. So they just kind of overall have better stats. Well, no, they don't. Just kidding. I convinced myself of something. Couriers are really good when you're unrecognized, because it's not that they have better stats, but that they. Let's just do that. Let's do that. There's a point in time where you have access to Couriers, you don't have access to Lancers. It's really, really important for some countries. And so Couriers is much more important than Lancers, but we have access to line infantry, so it's not going to be the case exactly. Or we have access to them, rather. So here we'll have a slight advantage now. So I think we should be able to push into them. That's fine, I think. We did not beat Zulu. I think we're gonna wrap it up here though. Because we're just, well actually, no, we know that the UK is not gonna join anymore. Now we know the UK doesn't join against us, and we are, well, I guess we'll see if we win this war, but I'm pretty sure we just roll over them here. Because we have the better tech. And, okay, we only have 700 on some of our units, but I think we're in fine enough shape. We'll alleviate concerns here. Our growth speed's not very good anyways, so decreasing our growth speed's like kind of a nothing burger of a thing. Yeah, so it looks like we should be able to push in here pretty easily here and get ourselves a nice little foundation. And this might be the next run. I didn't realize that Tudos was bugged. But Ethiopia just absolutely crushed in the poll. Maybe what we'll do is we'll ask if we want to either do Transvaal or something else that's like a really suffer bus run. I mean, we could do what we practiced earlier, which was the start as Uyghurstan. I kind of want to do that for like a 12-hour stream though, instead of yeah. So we have that war. If you defend the border with Zulu, you can naval invade behind. Oh, that's true. That's probably a little bit better than what we did. Not like way better, but I think that's a little bit better. It's not too big a deal though. I was expecting that we win that pretty comfortably. We can see that the units are back down like to 500-ish, but that's another thing in 1.5. Even after the nerf of it, the attrition's still pretty rough. But this is at 500. I guess places recruitment's funny because the 500 won't go up. It'll just the other barracks in the area will go up until it's 1K, and then the other ones will go up. But looks like maybe we spike a rev here. Really hate how you can't get a. I hate how you can never get a movement for Parliamentary Republic, because that's what we would want here. Maybe we were supposed to try and get monarchy in when we had the rural folk president. I don't know exactly. If we end up having a rev here, though, the like 100% we get helped out by the UK, so it's not a big deal. It's like really not a big deal. Just clap the rev and keep back to stuff. It doesn't matter, really easy win, pretty much. I think we're gonna conclude the stream here, though. We tried out a bunch of different starts. We took a look at Indian territories in Texas, kind of very briefly on both, because I think it's just super RNG for the Indian territory. We took a look at Iquicha, which I'm not sure the entire thing, how exactly the situation looks, but I think that's a pretty rough start. We took a look at Uyghurstan, which seems actually really doable because you can get into Russia's market, it seems, which is like the primary thing. We took probably the longest look at Transvaal here, which might be our next run, because we also took a look at Ethiopia, and the biggest driving factor for Ethiopia, or the biggest interesting thing, is Mr. Tudos. And apparently Tudos is bugged, and so he doesn't give the +30 offense like he should, which is unfortunate, and just kind of kills the regional flavor of the region, or the interesting reason to play Ethiopia, which is the like +30 offense, which makes your makes your basic infantry, like your unorganized infantry, the equivalent of. Well, we could take a look. It gives you +30 offense, right? So if we take a look at like our line infantry, it turns our regular infantry that we have as Ethiopia into effectively squad infantry with +30 offense when they're attacking, at least. But like if we're on something like Courier Series with 25 offense and we take that to 55, that's more than a light tank. In terms of our cavalry, like 55 offense. That's more than mech infantry. You'd have to get into heavy tanks to have more offense, or it's tied with siege arty. So like, just a very, very strong thing, which allows you to do some funky stuff, which we kind of wanted to highlight while playing as Ethiopia, like being able to fight Egypt at the start. And so I don't approve of this tomfoolery. And the frickin' treaty port here. God, that's disgusting. We're gonna screenshot that. That is absolutely gross. But I think we're gonna conclude it here. Cheers from Costa Rica. Hey, Danny. Gonna take a lot of coffee right now. Are you in the AM? You must be in the AM. Although I had a coworker named Spud when I worked at the nightclub as a bouncer, and he would at the end of his shift he would drink an entire pot of coffee and then go to bed, which to me was the most insane thing ever. He was also super Irish, which is why his code name was Spud. We all had code names, but oof, that border gore, yeah, pretty much. But yeah, Spud was hilarious. But like, just like that was so wild to me. And he's just like, oh, pot of coffee. And it's like, what are you gonna do, Spud? Just go home, take a nap? No, pot of coffee. It's like 3 a.m. It's like, oh, Jesus. But yeah, that is some ugly border gore. I feel like I see border gore every single time with the Ottomans in Egypt. Like, I wish the AI didn't do this. But this is the part that just sends me here. The treaty port on top of all this. Like, what? I don't think I've seen that before. I think this might be the, like, worst I've ever seen. I guess I think I've seen ones where, like, Aleppo is still Ottoman, or, sorry, still Egyptian, and it looks like this. But I think the treaty port was, like, worse than Aleppo. I'm not really sure. ADHD with coffee makes you sleepy. Interesting. Maybe he had ADHD. In my head, he was like too old to have ADHD, but that's like maybe not. That's not how. That's can't be how it works. He was like 50 or 60, which like definitely textures the whole thing a bit. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Just kind of wanted to take a crack at experimenting with some of these run starts. Often revisit a lot of them. I mean, like, I think I try Indian Territory every patch, but I'm not going to do an Indian Territory run unless I think I have a strategy that's consistent, and the strategies are never consistent. You just have to, like, high roll with France helping you, so. Anyways, have a good one, you guys. I'm going to go to bed. Take care. End the stream. Yep. Bye-bye now.